Talk Show.
It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 480.
Oh, 20 away before the big 500. Happy Wednesday to you, mate.
Yeah, we did say last week that on Wednesday we were going to have a form that you could fill out to join us for episode 500.
Yeah, we'll be coming tomorrow. I mean, Hayden Dibbs just joined our live feed,
Yeah,
and 20 days until you get your tap.
Very true. Yeah, Hayden Dibb offered up his arm to be tattooed with the Daily Talk Show, so we will be taking him up on that offer.
Peer pressure.
Oh, now I wonder. Just cancel that phone call. This is the. It would have just frozen.
It's paused. All right, I think we're back.
It's okay. We're back. We're
So
doing live
we're
feeds.
doing
We've got
Instagram.
phone calls coming through. It's all right. Don't be fazed by it, baby. Peer pressure. Could there be any chance that there is enough peer pressure that you get a tattoo on the night of our 500th episode?
I don't know. Depends. If 97 did, I would.
No, I'm not.
I mean, you never had enough peer pressure to do drugs.
Yeah. No, never done heroin. Never done cocaine.
Good.
Never done marijuana even. I just feel like I'm the type of guy to have a severe panic attack. So
You probably would.
and
You
so I
probably
don't
would.
sort
It'll
of
be funny because
need
you're not going to
that.
die, but you're just having a panic attack because you ate too many brownies.
One thing that I've been
Happens, bro.
wasn't even
It
peer.
happens.
Wasn't even what happened. If you had a panic attack,
No, it's just high level anxiety. It's just irrational anxiety when you're having edibles.
would
it's
you
horrible.
call people on the phone, or what would you do?
No. You're just all in your head. I was convinced that my ex-girlfriend was getting all these texts from some guy, but I think she actually was. I think it was rational anxiety. I was like, oh my God, she's fucking cheating on me. Turns out she was. But it was still hyper anxiety because I'd baked these cookies and then I gave them to all these people at my house, and then it just completely ruined a whole heap of the people down the back. And I went down at one point and I had this moment where I walked down and I was like, they're on the couch, and one of them looks up at me and says, "What have you done to us?" And at that moment, he was just high, and at that moment my heart was just going.
So you got really worried.
I ran back to my room.
Were you worried that you'd actually done something, like something was in it, like rat poison or something?
No, there was nothing in it. It was just marijuana made into butter, and then the butter was then used into a cookie mixture, and it's just a different feeling as to smoking marijuana.
They don't taste different.
It tasted a bit shit, but it was still tasty. It still had heaps of sugar in it.
Yeah.
But
I
it
mean,
just
you're
does
high,
something
you're not
completely
gonna
different to you.
taste it either.
It does something completely different to you.
If you talking about butter, I decided to just go with. We went for a cheap coffee option at the service station.
You just had to get the $1 fix before today. We've been working all day. We've been working with Mark Schenk from Anecdote.
Yeah, his podcast, what did you call it the other day?
I called it brand storytelling.
It's called Anecdotally Speaking. Anyway, but we did get you 97 to do a coffee order. I know we don't send you out to get coffee. How was that experience for you?
I actually asked the wrong person at the counter.
What do you mean?
No, so I literally went up and I just asked the barista just for the coffee. Yeah, I walked in and I was like, oh yeah, I've got the orders like memorized. I had the first two. I had the strong 3/4 latte and then the large flat white, and I didn't know your one. But yeah, I was
Do you
like,
remember it now?
it's a large strong almond mocha or something like that.
Yeah, got
It's a
it.
dumb order.
But so you asked the barista.
Yeah, so I just
You've gone
warmed
into
it
the
up.
kitchen and asked the guy cooking the
chef,
pizzas to can I place an order and pay with you,
Yeah,
sir?
and so the lady at the register, she's like, oh, come over here. So I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
And,
And,
so
the worst thing
I had
is
to repeat the order, but by that time I was so like rattled that I was just looking at my phone because I had to read the order off Slack.
Oh,
so.
the worst thing was he was in full branded attire, the Daily Talk Show.
Did they bring up the Daily Talk Show at all?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
That's good. No, I appreciate it. As soon as I sent him off, when I said, you can go now, if you can't be bothered going to AU79, you can go to the coffee place that's really close. And because he didn't know exactly where I was pointing, he decided he couldn't handle that.
Yeah, the coffee was cold by the time he got back. That's how far he'd walked. Suburban update. The other morning, we got our visas for the USA.
Yeah.
Just to reiterate, we now are officially
Allowed to enter the
USA under an I visa, which is basically a journalist visa. Unbelievable. Oh, my phone's going off. Anyway, so I left my house and I forgot something, and I got halfway to Mason's joint and I was like, too far to turn back. I'll keep going. And I got him, and then I was like, well, quickly go back. I need to get my cards. So it's my wallet. So I just carry a bunch of cards, and got back. The garage door was open. I'd forgot. So I was like so lucky that I was going to be gone until 6 p.m. that night.
So you must have just been so rattled that you had forgotten all those different things, right?
Yeah. I'll bring it all full circle to why I think it's been happening. But first,
because you've never had a garage before.
No, first the suburban update.
Have you played basketball with Michelle?
Yeah, I've shot a few hoops with her.
How's that going?
Yeah, good. I haven't seen her much lately. I just say hi. Bodie likes to run.
Have you
in
mentioned
the
the podcast?
No, I haven't mentioned the podcast.
Okay.
I live next to a famous basketball player from back in the day. Anyway, driving on the highway in Melbourne. What is it, the M3?
M3.
Yeah.
I'd call it a freeway.
It's a freeway.
Sorry, it's a freeway.
What's the difference between a freeway? What's the difference between a freeway and a highway?
Freeway and a highway. Good point. A highway, like Nepean Highway, is running between houses. A freeway is somewhere separate to, so there's no houses. It's like barricaded. It's like barricaded off. It's strictly
no one can walk on it.
Yeah. What is it? Free from anything else. That's what I'm kind of saying. Fun fact about it: my auntie used to live out in Mont Albert, near where Gemma Watts lives, and my brother and I played on the M3 before it was open. So like they hadn't built it all the way out to Doncaster.
That's cool.
And so my brother and I, there's just a vacant freeway. It's huge, and we're throwing stones and running around and like climbing on shit. This was before they'd opened up the M3. This was so long ago.
Do you remember when like the City Link first came, like with the tunnel, when they opened the Burnley tunnel?
Oh yeah.
It was huge.
Huge.
I remember the first time just holding my breath because they said, it's underwater.
Oh yeah.
So you go in.
Old school.
Yeah.
It's like holding you. People have different things. Amy, when she goes past, what do you call it? A cemetery, it's finger in belly button and holding the breath.
So the spirits don't
come out your belly button.
Yeah, that's quite fun.
Difference between a freeway and a highway?
You can have crossings and intersections on a highway.
Okay. So there's
you have to have on-ramps and off-ramps on a freeway.
So it's a freeway. Coming down the freeway, what I've realised is, mate, so many people drive by themselves. So many people
very inefficient,
it's
isn't it?
massively inefficient.
Yeah.
It is fucking ridiculous. I look around and I've only just realised that there's the lane on the far right, the transit lane. T2, where if you've got more than one person, if you've got a passenger, you can go in that lane. And so I'm in that just hooning past. So many
people that don't.
Unbelievable. Anyway, we've got no choice because we've got one car. I'm sure I'd be that Gronk driving to work early in my Tesla by myself with my eyes closed. But so I'm coming down this morning, left a bit late, and it hit a bit of traffic as it sort of bottlenecks into Hoddle Street, the exit. I look up and it's pouring rain, and there's an overpass, and I see these people standing up there, and I don't like seeing people above the overpass because I was the young Gronk spitting on cars. Never threw rocks, just spat, but it's still bad. Anyway.
Who was it? Did you work out who it was?
Yeah, they were protesters. So
is that the ones that you pointed out when we drove past?
I must have been more, new ones. So these were people, they're protesting, or they just had signs, like big sheets with like, it's all about the East-West link, so they're trying to build a tunnel from the end of the M3 under the city or something. So people don't want it. And so there was these people in pouring rain in trench coats just waving at the slow moving traffic.
And what do you think about protests? 97?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a protest?
No, never been in a protest.
I mean, it's as cool as going to Coachella now, protests.
It's very on trend.
I mean, the hard thing is with them, you don't get much action out of them. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing that you've got all these people at the climate strikes and marching and stuff, but nothing really comes of it. You know what I mean? Like, there's just an inquiry into something and nothing happens.
Is that what So
Can you look up just quickly? What you're calling them? Strike? What are you calling them?
Strikes.
Protests that have led to change. See that there might be like a top list of action of a protest has actually created some huge change.
I guess the question, like, what are they specifically asking for?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to know who at the event understands that.
Mm.
So at a singular level, I mean, I've been the man to poo-poo things like this in the past.
Have you ever been in a protest before?
No, never.
Neither have I.
No, I don't feel like I'd. It's probably. Yeah, I see people doing it. I don't know. I'm not drawn to it. Not drawn to go.
Are we cowards? Like,
maybe. And so my thinking has probably always been along the lines of, what change would I ever make? But I do understand that is also throwing out the get behind something and show your passion towards something. And so that's why I think it's good. I mean, it's interesting seeing like the ones with the protests in the city where people are fucking sitting in the middle of Flinders Street and you're actually all these people trying to get to work.
It's a bit naughty,
You've
isn't
just
it?
fucked them over.
Yeah.
But then does it bring change? It's not as simple as sit in the middle of the road and make shit change.
But if you believed in something like really hardcore, like, and because the thing is like climate change and all that sort of thing, I obviously believe that it's all happening. Do I necessarily believe that I wonder if I was protesting, would me doing this thing move the needle on that stuff? That's the bit that I'm not sure on. But imagine if you're really passionate about something that's more tangible. Don't you think? Like, I feel like if it was something where it's like, okay, we want to stop this road or whatever. If you do it like stop the development of a road, then that's a real easy, tangible thing of like it either happens or it doesn't happen.
Oh, so where Amy's mum lives up in Sydney, New South Wales, outside of Sydney, about an hour, there's a town called Windsor, and Windsor has a bridge, and basically it was like a through road where trucks would fly through.
You did a video on this.
I did a video on it, and so every time I went up there, like a couple of years in a row, I'd see this tent set up, and it was always around Christmas, and I was fascinated by these people and their effort at always being at this place. I found out that they'd been protesting for multiple years, maybe like 4 or 5 years. It's in the video, like 24/7. They'd been protesting. So there was someone at that place, Christmas, Easter, New Year's Eve, every single moment, because if they left, they couldn't come back again. It would be illegal. So they had to hold the post.
Oh, interesting.
And so I would go over and just have a sort of quiet chat to these people, and they would be like, yeah, we haven't left. We haven't left since we got here. And yeah, we're not going. Anyway, sad thing is, they moved them on and they built the bridge.
Oh, really?
They're building the bridge anyway.
Oh, that's annoying. For all of that effort.
All of that effort. And so they're still trying to.
97 for something?
Yeah, the protests that have actually created the change in the world.
There are a bunch of them around ousting like dictators and stuff. That's like based in Serbia.
Like revolutions and
yeah,
stuff.
Serbia and Egypt as well. They're successful ones. And then there's one here that they mentioned that all the backlash around Trump's executive order to get rid of asylum seekers or whatever when he first came into power. Apparently that helped with allowing visa holders to stay in the country. But yeah,
I've been thinking more about news lately. You know how I was getting rid of subscriptions, got rid of heaps of subscriptions.
Yeah, I've removed the news function from my swipe to the
Well, I never used the news function on like the iPhone thing, the idea that they just sort of spit you random news articles I don't like.
Horrible. It's
Do you
all
think?
just like bababies died in dam accidents.
Yeah.
And constantly I just was like, fuck me.
Maybe it was the same notification, you just had to clear it.
a lot of that happened.
Yeah. So how many days in a row can that happen? No, but I rebought the New York Times subscription because I was viewing an article and then it would, I got to like the paywall bit where it's like you've reached the amount of times that you can view New York Times. I think you get like 10 free articles.
Is this on your phone or your computer?
Yeah, phone. But then, so now I feel like I need to get my money's worth. So I'm going to like the New York Times website each day.
And is this American-based news or is this world news? New York Times.
So there is a what do they call it? They've got a bureau in Sydney. So they've got and there's even like I went down a massive rabbit hole. There's like a journalist in Melbourne who work for the New York Times. And so but I was just wondering, I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe there's certain areas of news because like all the news a bit depressing.
Of course.
Certain news may be enlightening. The other thing I realized, I don't know if this is a widely held belief or not, but reading an article, it seems like they just need to make them like I'm never one to read. Like I never used to read an article from start to finish, and I would always be hard on myself. I'm like, Josh, you can't fucking stick to anything.
It's true.
And so
I mean, for the article.
Yeah. And so but I've started reading to the end.
That's good.
The thing is that I feel like once you're about halfway through the article, they're just saying the same shit in a different way.
Yeah. So you think they're writing them, accounting for all the people that drop off in the first little bit.
Yeah.
So you're trying to deliver as much information up top and then just sort of just reshuffle a bit down the bottom.
Yeah, I was wondering that. But so I did start to think, I'm like, I wonder what categories, and if we've got the Instagram live stream, if there's certain categories that people are going to, I'm curious as to like the ones that are less depressing or to get a better scope of the news.
I think most young people just don't go to the news anymore. Like they're following, I mean, technically pedestrian TV and junkie, these are the news, Vice. They become a news source, which then they're just like, but you see how it's all, you see how what's current and what's hip and how to talk, like all these news outlets are trying to talk to the young people.
What is 97 smiling
like
at?
that?
Oh, we just got a message from Gemma. I've heard that a really good way to get to the very end of a book is to write it out by hand.
Well done,
It
Gemma.
is a great way. It's a pretty great way.
I did email Seth yesterday.
He wrote back
saying the book was still coming. So
did you say that too? No, you didn't. Please. Yeah. Did you actually say that?
I did a PS.
Did you do a PS?
Yeah, I said PS. It's just taking me a while, but the book's still coming.
I hope he's confused and just was like, that's that weird Aussie guy. That's that weird Aussie guy that told me my wife's bakery was a
What did I say again?
You said something like
being a pain in the ass.
Oh, he was the webmaster for his wife's bakery, and you said, those shitty little jobs you got to do.
Yeah, that's right. I did say that. The other thing I've been thinking, I think that in the same vein as doing reading articles, I'm thinking about picking up Twitter again.
Oh no, bad idea.
Do you think?
If Mr. 97 went into Twitter and he almost had a breakdown.
Yeah.
How about
There's
this?
too much shit on there.
You'll love this. You know how you can, some people they'll write a tweet and it's over a few tweets.
Yes.
And they can't fit it in. So they'll do,
Trump. He's fucking does it all the time.
Yeah. 1 of 4, 2 of 4, 3 of 4. Our mate, Dr. Jason Fox, did a tweet yesterday, and he writes a tweet and it says 0 of 75. Jason has taken what could be considered an essay. And no joke, I thought it was a joke. I thought that's funny. I clicked through. I was scrolling. It was like reading a Medium article. It was hilarious. It was great.
I mean, some people connect with that. There's a few people that have got famous from doing a thread of tweets.
I remember I used to do it when I was working in Invato. I was working with Collis and we'd put together this like 10 tips for startups or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I would go, and him and I would come up with the 10 tweets and then we put them in Buffer. And then every single day we would put out one.
Yeah.
Talking about Buffer, we started doing scheduling some posts. That was through the Instagram app, was it? Facebook app or whatever?
Yeah, Creator Studio, I think it's called. Yeah.
And we had some issues with syncing.
Yeah.
Yeah, with some of the videos going out of sync.
Is this a warning for people?
No, it was just an interesting fact. Buffer,
Story.
that app, did you see this?
I saw the email,
Yeah,
I didn't see it. What is it?
Buffer has just released the ability to schedule stories.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's in Schedugram had it as well.
Social.
Really?
They had it for ages.
They've got
the
it.
thing that most of these don't have is IGTV. And the IGTV are the ones that are going out of sync bad. And so they just restricted it. They probably don't let anyone any third party do the IGTV thing.
So if we're just talking social media a bit, so the Twitter thing.
Finish the book first. It's a lot of time.
Well, so yeah, I think
any of these things, writing a blog, it'd be like if you said, I want to start writing a blog. You got to enjoy writing to do the blog.
Well, I love writing.
Yeah, but I think it's time spent. I think you love writing, write more, as in write more for your blog
definitely.
you
that's the
launched
thing. Is there something
at the start of the year?
Yeah, I need to.
I think you should. I mean, sticking to anything, we talked about it yesterday. It's like consistency is, if not the hack for most things. And so if you wrote every morning and actually published something, I mean, Pete does it.
Yeah, there's something interesting about the idea of just like the OG Twitter, like not like putting out like links and all that sort of thing, but just doing like sort of the standard, I just had this thought, write a tweet.
Yeah. I mean, who are the people that do these things and do it well?
Jem does it.
Gemma?
Yeah, she's been doing Love Island. I don't watch Love Island, but she's constantly doing tweets, hashtag Love Island.
Yeah. I think for any of these things, don't take too many things on.
Like, do you think Twitter's too much for me at the moment?
100%. We got so much other stuff to do.
What thing would you prefer? So if we're just doing a bit of a redesign of my time spent, because I've just updated my iPad. I've actually we've been using it only for Spotify in the office. I've since taken it back into my possession. I take it home during the evenings now. And so I've started, rather than, I was struggling with the whole no phones in bed. So I've now doing no phones in bed, but I have
just an iPad.
But I just have my iPad.
You've just got the bigger version of your phone. But I mean, your phone's the big one too.
The Plus. Yeah, but I don't have Instagram on my iPad.
Isn't it crazy that they don't have an Instagram app for iPad?
Yeah.
Like it resizes the app.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so
looks like my dad's iPhone with his eyesight. Everything's large. Text is large.
And so I do. So if I'm using my iPad, it's YouTube, New York Times, and a tiny bit of Twitter.
I think it's.
I probably don't need it. I just need to. There's a bunch of books that I need to read.
Yeah. Where's your time better spent? One thing I've been fucking up, and it's I think why I left the garage open. It's what gives me the anxiety in the morning is chasing my tail. Chasing your tail in the morning is
nothing worse.
There's nothing worse. You have a tail?
Yeah,
no, but chasing your tail meaning getting up a little later than you should have.
Oh, definitely.
Which then brings everything forward. So you end up.
It's the daylight saving thing. So in Melbourne, we've had daylight. It fucking is daylight saving. It's definitely not.
This was happening before daylight saving.
When did it start happening?
A couple of weeks ago. And I know that I just need to get out of bed. So being in bed is the problem. Once your alarm goes off, getting out of the bed is the first step. Because if you just meditate in bed and then you're like, oh, that was nice, I'll now go back to sleep.
Well, this is the problem that I, like even this morning, because I've been getting in later, I think that the daylight savings has something to do with it because we've lost an hour. But no, they...
you just went to bed the same time. It'd only make an issue if you
No. I left the office at like 9 o'clock. I'm going to bed at like 11.
You're tired.
Yeah.
Of course you're tired going to bed at 11.
But the thing is, Brie goes to the gym in the morning and she's bringing me coffee again. And so I wake up and it's like the opposite of, like Miranda Kerr in the morning. She has her lemon water and stuff.
You're just straight to dried out mode.
To like fucking...
Yeah. Cracked lips.
I'm so dehydrated. So it doesn't matter how much water I drink at the moment because the amount of coffee that I'm having, I actually can't get clear piss at the moment. Impossible.
Yeah.
It's like, because it's like a diuretic. So I'm just constantly, you know what I mean?
So this was a bad idea at 4 p.m.
Yeah, the coffee.
Definitely. But the morning thing, because of Bodhi, and my routine is to get up and go downstairs and make the smoothie and get the bag ready. He gets up anywhere from sort of 6:30 till 7.
Does he help himself up?
Nah. He's started leaning over and turning the light on. So I've gone into his room some mornings and he's got the light's been already on. Well, because he might have got up and especially when he's napping in the day because he's a bit more restless, he'll turn the light on because he can reach it.
So how long until he gets himself up?
I don't know. He's big enough now that he could get out of the cot by himself. Once he got a position, he got a footing, and he's like realize what he was about to do, and I just pushed his foot off.
So you don't want him to be able to do it?
No, because then he'll wake up and he'll climb the fence and he'll come into mummy and daddy's room. And so if he wakes up in the middle of the night, he'll be like, I could go to mum and dad's room.
Have you thought about, has he ever slept in your bed?
Nah. Oh, I mean, he slept in our bed for the first year of his life, but then we got him out of the bed because we needed some peace and quiet. But he's become a wriggly worm. Like he can't, if he sleeps in the middle, he will turn upside down and put his legs on your face.
Do you remember when you were a kid, did you sleep in your parents' bedroom?
Oh, the big bed. I loved it.
It was warm. Must have annoyed the fuck out of my dad.
Of course. I mean, when you're 15, it's fucking annoying. You're taller than Richard. No, but I used to get into mummy and daddy's bed, the big bed. Do you remember a time when?
Real weird when you.
Do you remember a time when you?
So I can get in mummy and daddy's bed.
No, but do you remember a time that ever feeling like
you're too old for it?
Saying mummy,
never.
Like
never said mummy.
You never said mummy?
No, never said mummy. Never. Said
I
daddy.
just remember when I had the filter within that mummy, you couldn't say mummy. You know, like it was like you weren't cool.
Did you ever say mummy?
A little bit.
Yeah, but do you remember when it's like getting dropped off at school? You don't want to be dropped off out the front. You want a bit of room so you can.
I wanted closest to the gate. JJ didn't want to walk.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't want to be brought down by me mummy.
No. Well, we had a sick car. We had an SS Commodore. It was gold tiger coloured.
Yeah,
and so we had the sickest car in the whole build in the whole school.
It's a classic thing of like your parents aren't cool anymore, and so I remember the kids that would call their parents mummy, and it's such a funny thing, but I just remember the feeling of being like, mate, you're not cool.
Did you? I
wouldn't have said those words. I said something pretty yuck.
What would you say?
Oh, you know when people used to call stuff gay back in the day?
Yeah.
Like when we were young kids, it's like, they don't even know what being gay is, but you'd say everything's gay. It's like, mate.
It was definitely, that was a 90s thing, wasn't it?
So 90s. I mean, I don't think kids are going to say that stuff now.
Yeah.
Because it's so different.
Know, like
we're a more woke existence now.
97, did you sleep in your parents' bed?
A little bit. I remember coming in the morning, I think occasionally. Yeah. We had like, I think from a pretty young age, I've had the same bed for like ages, and so
I just imagine
you still got that race car bed, yeah?
No, mum,
Red Rocket.
Yeah, mum and dad got like a king singles for all of us, and so we've just
rich family.
Yeah,
yeah, and so we've just had those for ages, and so I think I don't know if we went. How we went from like a cot to maybe something else and then to the king single. But
so you're in a king single right now?
No, well, so I had a king single up until like last year, and then I moved downstairs, and we've got a spare bed down there. So I've got like a queen now, I think it is.
Do you ever sleep in your old bed?
Nah, 'cause it's upstairs.
Why would he sleep in his old bed? It's his old bed.
It's my old room. It's like, because I moved, I used to have a bedroom
Have
upstairs.
they turned it into a gym or something or what?
Nah, so... No, we've just kept...
Is that a fair point?
No. So we've kept it as a spare... We've kept it as a spare bedroom. So if...
Do you have any of your stuff in there?
My bedside table's in there.
Anything in the bedside drawers?
No. All the wardrobe is just filled with shit, old like cables and like just when I had an obsession with like networking, like real fucking nerdy stuff.
Yeah, Ethernet cables.
Yeah. All that's in there.
Yeah.
Well, is there going to be
anything way for his FHM magazines?
Is there anything that you're going to have to bring when you go away, when you travel? Any comforters? Anything that any blankies?
Nah.
Oh my God, this kid that we grew up with that used to say mummy a lot, and he also used to have his blankie, and he had a blankie up until grade 4.
So interesting blankies, aren't they?
Like a little blankie, and he'd suck his thumb. Like I see the cuteness in a baby that does this stuff, and I see how my empathy for like Bodhi and how much I care about him, and like if you wanted to continue doing that stuff, like you wouldn't think it, but when you're a young kid and you see someone else, you sort of get a bit savage on them. You're too old for that, and so anyway,
man, you would have been a mean kid.
Yeah, because I had 2 older brothers. They were all mean. We're all mean, but good kids. Anyway, this story doesn't paint us that well. we threw a bit of his blankie on the fire.
What do you mean a bit of his blankie?
Oh, because it was like getting tattered, and there was like he used to
He
hold
would have
little
been
bits of it,
distraught.
and we threw a bit of the blankie on the fire.
It could.
Savage.
I lost my favorite teddy bear. We lost it on a plane.
That's
We were
annoying.
flying to New Zealand. And I was just like, I was crying for like days, just all day.
Yeah, I mean, as a parent, you hope that your kid doesn't have some kind of survival toy or thing. Like
What's a
Bodhi,
survival toy?
no. Like
It's
it's
literally like the thing that
comforter.
you like
Comforter is the word. So he like a teddy. Bodhi literally just has 4 teddies. He becomes obsessed with one, and then he's like he's over all of them at the moment. He's just like trucks are his thing, but he doesn't even have a favorite truck. He's whatever. And so you hope, because some kids just, it's their safety.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I remember when I was a kid, when I was 3 years old.
And you remember when you were 3?
Yeah. And we went to Barwon Heads for a Barwon Heads? Yeah. For a my cousins had like a what's it called? Caravan. And I left my sunglasses there. And then during the time when we got back and before I got my sunglasses again, I had my eyes tested and I needed glasses. And so I remember being told that I wouldn't be able to wear my sunglasses anymore. And I was just fucking so sad.
Did you know your eyesight was shot back then or nah?
No. I don't think. It must be that thing. I remember having my hearing tested as well. Mum was so pissed off because she would yell at me about things. I'm like, I can't hear you. You'd be playing PlayStation, ignoring the fuck out of her. Can't hear anything. Went to the fucking ear and eye doctor or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Perfect hearing.
So it's called selective.
Yeah.
Selective.
I remember the doctor saying, yeah, just a bit of selective hearing.
Anyway, the thing that I want to start doing from tomorrow is up out of bed at 5:45 every morning.
It's good because I
Oh, you started the before 6?
Before 6.
What happened to that, buddy?
Well, I bought the fucking Streaks app. Durham told me to get the app, and I just haven't been doing it. But there's so much power in it because the thing is, it's so easy. My big one is, I reckon this could be something, guys. No phone calls before we get into work. Because the thing is, I talk to you 97.
But
I
you're
talk
into
to
work
you
before 11 p.m. 11 a.m.
Well, the reason why I take so fucking long is because you and I get on the blower at 7:30, and I haven't even gotten in the fucking shower yet. And so we talk for half an hour, and then it's 8 o'clock, and then Bree needs the bathroom, and baby needs to do a dump, and so as in me, and so it fucks up with all the timing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we only have one bathroom. You don't realise how good 2 bathrooms is because then you can do the sort of dump in one bathroom, shower in the other.
Yeah. Oh, Jamesy was in the shower when it was like my shower time. Like I wake up and have a shower. But
What time's your shower time?
well,
And you get 20 minutes, right? You're an animal.
Is that true?
It's come down at night time. It's like 20 minutes. And
No,
then-
yeah, nighttime. But then he
Nighttime.
does a morning one too.
Yeah.
Absolute privilege.
Yeah. No, but like it rattled me because Jamesy was in the shower and Dad
I love 20 minutes and he doesn't have time to put toner in his hair.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you trying to find the toner for 20 minutes? Anyway, sorry. Go on. Your hair's actually looking more toned. Do you use
I used a purple shampoo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go on. Sorry.
So Dad and James were in the shower.
Together.
Different showers.
Different
two
shower. Okay,
separate
now fair enough.
showers.
At the same time, you guys must have some decent hot water going
Yeah,
on.
well, when I hopped in, there was no hot water.
But there was enough for
So
two at the
that-
same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so Mum had a shower as well. So Dad had one, James had one, and Mum had one.
Okay.
And so there was
There
just
was absolutely
yeah,
none. So what do
and
you do in that scenario?
cold shower. It's pretty depressing. Like I wasn't happy.
Yeah, but I think cold showers are great.
No, it's fine if you want to do it, but when you don't want to do it and you just wanted to have a nice warm shower,
It's
the
good to
worst
start
thing.
on hot. I've been doing like this game where I go see how hot. I put it on full hot and almost wait until it starts to feel like hot blistering sort of thing, and I put it straight to cold, and so it's like extreme temperature shifts.
Anyway, I'm getting up at 5:45. That way I can get the smoothies and everything done.
Great. Gemma just said she's going to be outside the front of yours with a megaphone at 5:45.
Don't wake up my son. That's
What
just
ti-
you've
what time
actually
will
you've defeated the purpose of getting up, because I realise if Bodhi wakes up, it's all out the window. Like it's just another thing. being prepared before baby wakes up.
Yeah.
This is Bree's life. She has to be prepared with baby's coffee, done the exercise, get home and hand him the coffee. I have to get the smoothie ready, so when Bodie wakes up, I hand him the bottle.
Do you know what the funny thing is? This morning, so Bree, like I sort of woke up at like 7:05, and I look on Find Friends. They've changed the name of the app. I don't know if you've seen that on iOS 13.
Find
I haven't
My.
updated.
Find My.
Did you update to iOS 13?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know. I was just reading an article on it this morning.
What are they
said
saying?
It's just a bit buggy.
Oh, yeah, but it's probably like older phones can't handle iPhone.
No, the new 11 as well was buggy.
Definitely not updated.
But anyway, I looked on Find Friends, saw that Bree was nearly home, and because I was excited, I thought maybe she'd have a coffee for me. When she came in, I said, "Oh, morning. I'm like, did you get coffee?" And she was like, "No." And luckily, I didn't blow up because she did have one. I guess it was a test. She was like, "No, I didn't get one," or whatever. And then like 2 minutes later, she came back and she goes, "I got you one." And she was like, "You're just being ungrateful. You shouldn't ask." But I do remember when I was a kid, there was at the surf shop there was a Volcom. Do you know the brand Volcom 97?
Old school.
Volcom,
Nah, don't think so.
good brand.
Yeah.
Anyway, they did. Can you look up Volcom leather wristband? So there was a leather wristband, probably 10 centimeters width.
Yeah.
And
That's a thick.
and it just had two like sort of clip buttons.
Oh, yeah.
So a piece of leather with and it was just sort of like
Real accessory, isn't it?
yeah, huge. I used to be right into the accessories.
Really?
This is like
What else did you get into?
like the Bali, like going to Bali and having so many
Oh, yeah.
different. I would actually love to do that again.
Oh, you know what? I could imagine the Gemma Watts that you may have
Braided
been one
her
of those gals who would get the inside of the Coke bottle, the Coke lid, and you'd pull it out and then you'd bite, and there's like you'd have like this plastic rim, and then you'd stretch it slowly and it would break if you stretched it too hard, but you could get it to be a wristband. And like heaps of girls at my school had a whole heap of them. And then I know a few that actually went a bit further, which may also be the Gemma category, of getting VB stubby plastic rings and cutting them out and wearing them.
I just remembered Fuck Me bands.
Yeah, I remember that shit too.
You'd get them from Crazy Clint's.
Crazy Clint, the dirty old bastard.
Do you know Crazy Clint's?
Nah. Was it like
Clint's. It was Clint's. Can you look up Crazy Clint's?
would you also buy shit like the Beanie Babies at Crazy Clint's?
No, that was at What's New.
Well, yeah.
But those Fuck Me bands.
Oh yeah, so I think this was the version, the one that you wouldn't buy.
So I mean, this is outrageous because you're like 13 years old, and the idea
yeah,
was
it's also the same.
if you broke, for people who don't know, the idea with the Fuck Me bands, these were popular in our fucking when we're 13. The idea was that
prime fucking time.
Yeah, if you broke someone's Fuck Me band, you had to have sex.
The best thing was everyone's virgins at that point.
Yeah.
As in no one's actually having sex. It's complete bullshit. But it's also...
I just assumed that you were. Were you not having sex? When did you lose your virginity?
15.
What was the specifics? You don't want to go into it.
Definitely don't want to go into it. Mum's listening. Mum's probably listening. It's too young.
15 was.
Hold out.
To what age? 17's good.
17, 18, anything like above. Like
I think year 11's sort of a good vibe because you need some
if you're
pick me up from VCE.
If you're a 40-year-old virgin, it's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good. Doesn't matter.
But anyway, so the Volcom wrist, the leather wrist band.
You just made sure you got the really tough one because you didn't want anyone to fuck you.
Yeah. So it wasn't
no one's breaking this band.
No, it wasn't a Fuck Me band. It was just like an accessory.
Only the black ones are Fuck Me bands.
Yes, correct.
The coloured ones each represent something different.
Who came up with
told
that?
you
Who
this?
came up
Gemma.
Gemma, yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, but who came up with the Fuck Me bands?
I mean,
it's a weird.
It's the same young boys that are yelling gay at everything, to be honest.
Yeah, but I know. I remember.
Is those same kooks.
No, people were extremely sexually. What are you laughing at?
I've just found the list of what all the colours represent.
Okay, well, we'll get to that in a sec, but just very quickly.
Do you want to?
Yeah, we do. But I remember being 14 and like things were very sexually charged at 14.
Yeah.
I remember a girl saying to me, she said, "My parents are away. you can come over and we can do whatever you want. And then she said, I was
Shruti,
like,
you naughty
no,
little.
it wasn't Shruti. And then, can we not defame on the podcast, please?
Well, Shruti was your girlfriend at one point.
It wasn't Shruti.
Wasn't Shruti? No, sure.
It was a girl named Carly.
Okay.
I haven't said the last name, so we should be okay.
I never said Shruti's last name.
Turns out that she actually, the girl who said this, Carly, ended up, I had a employee for a short period of time. It was actually a contract. He was just doing some work. And he was moving out of his place and he was having all of this pains in the ass with the property manager. And then I saw the name, I'm like, hang on a sec. That was Carly. And so she's doing that now. She's a property manager. But anyway.
So we've really profiled. You can probably find her if you want within the Doncaster area.
And yeah, it is. No, she was lovely. We dated for a short period of time. But she did say, she said, my parents are going away. You can come over. We can do anything. And she said, if it makes you feel better, because I was like, I don't know, like I think it would be a bit sus, like just me going over to your house on your own. She's like, we can invite 2 other people and they can go into another room. I was 14. I didn't even have pubes. I was absolutely scared, shitless. But anyway, on the Vulcan band, it was for Christmas. I really wanted it for Christmas. It was from like a surf shop. Remember when surf shops are huge? So every shopping centre had a surf shop. And I thought it was like $20. I was like, Mum had been saying, yeah, you can get for Christmas. And I thought it's low enough level that I'll definitely get it. Christmas came around and opened up different things, no wristband. And I asked them about it. They said, oh, we didn't know that's what you wanted. And I absolutely fucking cracked it. I was like screaming. I was in hysterics. And the worst thing was then my brother Jake comes out with the wristband after I had just blown up. And so they got exactly what they wanted.
You know what?
They revealed how much of a fucking asshole I was.
I don't have that done to me much from people in my life.
Well, it's because...
And I wonder if they do it to you because they know that that's the kind of reaction you get. Mm-hmm. The person that gives the reaction of saying, mate, I didn't get you a coffee and then bringing it out, I got you a coffee, is that person that you really, you know what they'll give you.
Yeah. Why is everyone trolling me all the time? Don't you think I've got a lot of trolls? Does Amy ever troll you about stuff?
No, because my point, the only time she trolls me with that shit is if I do it to her, she gets me back. Mm. And so my point is it's you, dude.
Bree was annoyed at something that I did the other week. And it was so fun. This was such a fun, like her and I were laughing about it afterwards. She had a serious conversation. She sits down with me and she's like, so you're probably wondering why I haven't been that intimate this week. I just thought, what do you mean this week? Like it's quite being in a long-term relationship.
Oh yeah.
It's just
I'm a virgin. No, I'm joking.
It was quite a funny thing to say.
Happy wife, happy life.
But yeah, I think she said, oh, now don't bring this up on the podcast. So I'm sort of starting to get a bit.
And you see why she trolls him all the time.
Anyway, so yeah, I thought that was a fun story. What have you got on the LA?
Fact of the day.
Fact of the day with our upcoming LA trip.
Do you know the reason why LA is the hub for film?
Yeah, because Hollywood's there.
Yeah, and do you know why they decided to put Hollywood in LA?
Because it's a desert and there was lots of space.
Good weather.
Great weather.
Nah, it's because Thomas Edison, the inventor, had all these patents.
Of what? What did he invent?
The telegraph, record player, light bulb, alkaline storage battery, and a camera for motion picture.
Just a couple.
Yeah, I mean, pretty good inventor, but he held all the patents for like motion pictures in New Jersey, and so everyone was sued for trying to create productions in New York. And so they decided to flee to LA, so it was harder for people to enforce the patents.
That's
cool.
So interesting.
That's so cool.
There's actually a thing called like a patent troll. And so what these are people who have bought, what have we got? What's happening on Instagram? Anyone talking to us? Or?
I mean, Gemma got a message from a 13-year-old This is back in the day, not just recently.
Okay. Good clarification.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, roses are red, violets are blue. Other than your virginity, what else have you got to lose?
Wow.
A bit weird from a 13-year-old now. Imagine that.
Yeah. I mean, firehotquotes.com would have been where he got that. What was I just saying?
I don't know, mate.
It was about
patent trolls.
Yeah.
Patent trolls.
So basically, there's a huge thing like where these big businesses, like these big organisations, basically get patents and then come after everyone. So there's a case around podcasting where a bunch of big podcasters about 10 years ago all got taken to court for doing podcasting.
Really?
I know that Envato, it's on like the public record, they had to go to, like they had representatives that had to go to Dallas, to Texas, to fight a patent troll around marketplaces. So if you had a marketplace, this company was basically suing every single marketplace.
Oh, wow.
Going after all of them.
Like, what a gross business.
Yeah.
What a gross business model, because they're trying to get money out. They're trying to get payouts.
I think Adam Carolla, I think he's the comedian. He was he got taken down by the patent troll. They did like an out of court settlement, so it's still like it costs people a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, I guess when
you sort of have to, like, it's like they can just keep bringing it on and on and on.
I think when stuff works, then is the chance when people see the opportunity, because that's what they're doing. They're going, what's an opportunity here? Who can we get money out of?
Yeah, I mean, it's fucked. Those other
the bands that we used to work, that
the coloured bands.
Oh yeah, you want them?
This is his caveat. He's giving you the option.
Can I guess one? Is the white band kissing?
Nah, flash your tits.
Okay. Keep going.
They get so orange is kiss, yellow is hug, clear is whatever you want, blue
whatever you want. Is that?
No, that's that's.
It's the property manager from Doncaster. That was the band she had. Go on.
Red, lap dance, blue, blowjob, silver, fisting, pink, flash.
And where are these being sold?
Is it Crazy Clint's, I think?
Is that still around, that shop?
Nah. Do you remember Clint's? No, it was in Dever Hills. No. Interesting facts there. I mean,
old school.
2019.
If you grew up in the 90s in Australia, that was the shit going on at primary schools, high schools.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, I think it's going to...
French kissing.
But think about it.
The kids are experimenting, aren't they? Spin the bottle? Can you do spin the bottle? Did you ever do spin the bottle?
We talked about Kiss Chaser. You can't do that shit anymore.
We didn't. I mean, we didn't have these bands. That wasn't a thing.
Yeah,
but did you do spin the bottle ever?
No, not really. I mean, but it also wasn't the group that I was part of as well.
I'm sure other people,
all above board. I'm sure other people would have done spin the bottle.
Yeah. Oh, it was such a fun time, spin the bottle.
Mm.
But what was so upsetting is when you see people's like dismay, like as it's starting to turn to me, like no. It's just like it's really bad for morale.
I remember holding the door while people like were kissing in this one girl, a girl who I went out with.
Like you had to stand mind the door.
I stood holding the door while they made out, but then I ended up going out with her a couple of months later.
Classic bait and switch.
I put in the effort for her and she rewarded me.
I was thinking it's like this LA trip could end up being like a bit of a school camp for you. Thinking maybe we could get a disposable camera that Mr. 97 can take as his camp camera.
Oh yeah. Did you get camp cameras back in the day?
Would have been digital.
Daddy got me DSLR.
Yeah.
No, I can't. Oh, actually, no. I had a
5D Mark III.
I had a little point and shoot,
little RX 100,
all Sony glass. I had the adapter.
Yeah, it had to be Zeiss lens.
Yeah, that's a great idea. We'll get him a flat, like a little, just like the winding disposable, and so you're going to do Mr. 97's LA adventures.
Yeah, I love that.
Leah wants a camp scrapbook.
Oh, that's a great. I loved them.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get creative. Get a bit artsy.
I would love for you to do it. The problem is you're going to have to ask the TSA officers not to put the disposable camera through the X-ray machine.
I think you could probably get it.
It's a film. You'll have to let them know and declare it and say, hey, I've got a film camera. and they'll put that. They won't put that through the scanner.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, because they're pretty full on in the
Interesting.
States. We have to stand in that thing. And
But it's actually just the normal. Like if you go on a normal domestic flight,
the thing that
just
sending you coming through. Yeah, interesting. Anything else coming through before we sign off for the day?
Rob Ward messaged. He's like, so that's why you didn't answer my call, Josh, and he wants you to call him back afterwards.
Yep, no problem.
And Jess said they used to hold the buttons on their school clothes when an ambulance drove past the school. So that was in relation to
holding the belly button.
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
Hold the buttons
on your school uniform.
Yeah.
all of them.
That's a bit weird.
It's a lot.
I mean,
I've
that's
never-
a lot.
interesting.
Were you a? So there were kids who would never wear shorts. I only ever wore shorts. Summer, winter, spring, autumn, all of them.
I wore whatever I wanted. Like,
Would you wear? You'd probably wear jeans. I can imagine.
Oh no, you weren't allowed.
Yeah, I know, but I can just imagine you being the type to wear
Nah,
leather globe shoes.
No, I ended up wearing like it was a complete rort at a private school.
Mm-hmm.
We managed to get away with wearing because the rule was they have to be all leather black shoes, and so we found all leather black Nike shoes, and so we were rocking.
Surely, I mean,
Rocking Nike Airs.
Isn't it so funny as a kid? You think like you've bet the system, but then you realize how easily they could just say dress shoes and you'd be completely fucked. But you're like, haha, you guys are fucked.
Yeah,
There's no option here.
Yeah.
And then the
You're
bag
in a
was a big
corner.
one too. It was all about having the cool bag, Caribbean bags.
What does that mean?
Hang them low. There was a brand, Caribbean. You'd hang them low. They were different colors, yellow, red, and would just like hang the bag low. My life, I just want the bag higher and higher to make my back good.
Yeah.
As a kid, you don't give a shit. You're just like, if this breaks my back, I want to use it.
You've got the little clips at the top.
Hanging
and
off the side, doing your
Yeah,
shoulder.
do you remember that? Like that was a big thing as like in school being like, don't one shoulder your bag.
I think they've probably outlawed it. See it, Mr. 97. Rules around bags in school. Because think about it, I see kids that go to the private schools. The private school kids have given so many books and like they're always having to carry around big
like
fucking
the
bags.
textbooks. I remember when the Kindle
Skinny little redhead. I saw this one kid. He's in my mind. He looks
was this recently.
recently. He was a poor little kid in the worst coloured uniform.
Do you remember when they were saying like the iPads and all that sort of stuff were going to replace in textbooks?
I mean,
Didn't
there's
really
still
happen,
money
did it?
made in textbooks.
Yeah, a lot of money. You find any
Anything?
details?
No, but Leah's just come up with another great idea. Wear a white T-shirt like you do at year 12 and get it signed.
Oh, that's great from all the guests.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great to do just a small run for us, a tour
To a
T-shirt.
To a tease.
with on the back it has like the
The year.
Los Angeles, like whatever cities we go to.
Yeah. LA 2019.
That'd be fun. I had to do a big presentation in year 12 about trying to do year 12 hoodies.
Oh,
The principal would not have a bar of it. She wouldn't let us have hoodies in year 12. She thought that it was opportunities for us to cover our faces when we were like fucking like doing naughty shit. Isn't that crazy?
Anyway.
I should have pushed way harder on that. But they
let's push hard now to do it for our
hoodies and t-shirt.
thing.
T-shirt, yeah. Polos. I haven't worn a polo in many years.
Jeez. Mr. 97, it looked good on a polo. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow, guys.
It's a daily talk show. If you got anything to contribute, maybe you've got other details on the fuck me bands, which were just completely outrageous.
What was the weird thing that you had at your school that was going on? Because I think it's just there's some weird shit going on. Maybe if you know something now that's happening that will blow our minds, like you've got kids or...
It would be fun to do a documentary series where we like go inside the schools.
I mean, have you got working with children's?
Volunteer only.
Yeah, actually, they don't even look. I just put employee of the bit of.
What? Just get one.
I got one, and I
We should just get them renewed.
It was too confusing, and I just picked the bit. So technically, I work for a school on my children's check. They don't have a check. They didn't ask for any details. I was like, oh, that's the only one that's really relevant to me because I'm not volunteering. I'm getting paid. And so I'm an employee.
of a school.
I don't know. It just says that on there.
Okay.
Anyway.
Today Talk Show, hi at thedailytalkshow.com is the email address. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, guys.
See ya.